when you come to Florida, make sure you go to the beach. There's a lot in Florida besides the beach, but the beach is just unforgettable. So today on The Rock, I am painting a Florida beach, sunset or sunrise. Depends on which side of the state you're on. So I'll show you how I did that. And I also talk a little bit about how you can make money painting rocks. I did a video earlier today, a short one, telling you that I was wrong, that I had said you probably can't make money painting rocks. But a young lady named Katie wrote and told me that she indeed makes money painting rocks. So, yeah, I don't know everything, and I'm learning all the time. But today I'm painting this rock, and I'm going to put a link to the video that talks about that. Somewhere on the top here, there's a way to do that. I'll put a link there. All right? But for now, let's paint the beach scene, one of the most popular, best-selling, on rocks, maybe it is, I don't know. One of the best-selling paintings I've ever done is the same one over and over again. It's the beach scene. So apparently it's really popular. All right, let me show you how I did this one right now. Okay, we're painting rocks. One rock. I wanted to show you, before I painted a rock, the rocks that I got, because apparently, whoa, this is a thing. I didn't know it was such a thing. So let me just show you the label here. There, can you see that label? Wow, this is not easy to hold. So it says beach pebble, great for patio, pots, and garden accent, natural beach stone, and then the key word here is paintable. Paintable. You see that right there? The word paintable? There it is. All right. Why is that important? Well, a lot of you know more about this than I do. And so I've been getting some letters from you since I started painting rocks, teaching me about painting rocks. So I'm just here to paint. I am not here to teach. I think you guys are the real teacher, especially with this subject. Okay, let me just get this in here. Let me move the camera so I can see it better. Yeah, now it's in the center. Okay. So apparently all rocks are not made the same. You have to look for the ones that are paintable. And there's also a way to make a rock that's not paintable. I watched a video where they were sanding them down and making them rougher. I watched another video where they were coating them with something. I don't know if it was gesso or not, but anyway, so yeah, don't take my word on anything here, but I just want to paint. But I want to paint a Florida sunrise or sunset. I don't know, Florida beach. Seems to be pretty popular. And it's now the end of July, and I'm looking forward to August. August is probably one of the best months if you really like it to be hot. You see how I did that? I didn't say it's one of the worst months because it's so hot. I said it's one of the best months if you like it to be hot. Yeah. That's how you can persuade people. No, it is a good month in Florida. August is a good month at the beach. And so let's go to the beach. Go to the beach. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adding some paint to my palette. And you know, you could use just the primary colors, the blue, yellow, and red. I like using the other colors that come in that are sold in the store. I like using them because, whoops, a little bit messy here. The reason I like using them is because it just saves time. You know, you can make every color out of the primaries and white, and you're probably going to need some burnt umber, which, speaking of which, I got to find some. But, well, I might not need burnt umber on this one. You can make all the colors with the primaries and white and burnt umber. And you can even make burnt umber out of the primaries. But it's just easier, it's quicker for me to have the colors. Alright, so let's start with the sky, and I'm using acrylic paint. And of course it's water soluble, but don't use the water. If this was paper, maybe you would use the water, but this is a rock, and it doesn't work well on a rock. So I'm just gonna since this is acrylic, I can go ahead and go a little crazy with it. I'm just gonna paint the horizon. I'm gonna paint the whole sky orange. I'm gonna try to do this one in a quick way. Let me tell you why. I just want to see how long it takes to do this. The reason why is because there was a letter, and I made a video about this. I got a letter from a young lady, and she told me that she made enough money last year selling painted rocks to pay for her entire Christmas. Okay. And she wrote me that letter because I had said in a video where I was painting rocks, I had said that you probably won't be able to make money selling rocks, painted rocks. And she pointed out that I was wrong. And I did my little research. I went to Etsy and eBay, and I even searched on YouTube, and sure enough, there are people making money selling painted rocks. I honestly didn't know that you could do that, but she showed me that you can. So I believe her. I saw evidence of it. So let me put my orange brush in there. That's the one thing about these colors, you have to kind of use more than one. Like with the watercolor, I have a habit of using the same brush over and over again. But with these colors, I think you have to use different brushes, unless the colors are close. But anyway, she pointed out to me that you can make money selling rocks. I did a little bit of research, not much, and I shared that research with a short video I did. That should be on here somewhere. I'll put a link right there in the top. I learned how to do that recently. But yeah, she's making money, enough money to pay for Christmas. Now that's what got my attention. Enough money to pay for Christmas. How awesome is that? And I don't know how much, because she didn't say, and I'm not going to ask. But I know a lot of you ask about making money with the art, and I'm really probably not the best person for that question. There are people out there who really don't know the answer, and I can tell you how I have made money with art, but I've never made money with a rock. But she does, and I believe her, and it's outstanding that she does. I love it. So I'm just gonna try to add a little bit of blue here. So that was Payne's Gray. That was orange, of course, and this is ultramarine blue. It almost looks the same as the Payne's Gray, but I wanted to start with a darker, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white to that to get it lighter as we get closer to the shore here. And because it's acrylic, I can paint over it, so I have to. It's kind of like different rules with acrylic than with watercolor. Oh, and the reason I'm all over the map, I'm sorry, but the reason I wanted to do a quick paint today, if I can, we'll see if it goes quickly or not. was because if you're going to make money with it, you probably have to, I would say you probably have to pump these out, because if you're only making $5 a rock, let's say, which is what one of them was, you might have to have a little system to have a little assembly line of your own, just you and yourself painting rocks. But I don't see any reason why it couldn't be an extra income for you. So, and I know the only places I looked was, where did I look? I looked on Etsy. Oops, that's a mistake. That's going to turn that green. I don't want that. I looked on Etsy and I looked on eBay. I think I said that to you already, didn't I? All right, let's get a little bit of this orange and see if I mix it with blue. What does it do? I know it's going to be a greenish. I just want it to be dark over here for this, the dark part of the sand. And I'm scrubbing. Oh, I made the mistake. I put it in the water. So I'm so used to the watercolor. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it dark down here. I kind of want this beach scene to be kind of on an angle. Okay, so hopefully I've expressed all the things I wanted to express, and now we can just chat. Alright, this looks dry. I'm going to add some more orange to this guy. This is where I'm probably going to end up taking more time than... My mother used to make quilts, and she made the quilts. This is probably where I get it from. She donated them to the church, and they would send those quilts all over the world, I guess, or at least to one country. And they would show films in the church like several months later, and it would show the children getting those quilts. And I was with my mother one time in church, and they what they do is they bless the quilts before they send them. And the whole altar was covered with quilts. And I said, which one, I asked my mother, which one of those is yours? And she said, almost all of them. And yeah, she was a quilt maker. She made quilts for everybody. Everybody. And so we were watching this film, and it was showing the children in this poor country. And the children were getting their quilts out of the back of a truck. From the back of a truck. And one child is shown grabbing a quilt and wrapping it around his shoulders and then walking through the mud. I know. And my mother says, in the mud? That's all she had to say. In the mud? He's walking in the mud? So all that work she put into that quilt, and she could see that it was being dragged through the mud. And of course it didn't deter her. She still made quilts for the church. But anyway, one time I went to a craft fair, I guess it was, one of those things, where they raise money from people's arts and crafts. And there were some quilt ladies. Now this was not my mother, this was other ladies. And the price on the quilt said $25. And I said, $25? That doesn't seem like much for the amount of work, because I know how much time my mother spent making those quilts. And I thought, well, they don't make much money. My mother never sold them, but if she did, she wouldn't be able to make much money. And I think the reason for that is because probably a lot of the quilts that you can buy in the store, they're probably made in countries where unfortunately, this is going to be the truth, right? They use slave labor to make those quilts. And so the quilt in the store that you buy can be very, 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 very cheap. And you can't really compete if you're a quilt maker. But the best you can do is make them. And I still have the quilt my mother made me. I use it every single day. I don't have it in my bed. I have it on my recliner. That's right. And yep, if I get cold, it's on the back of the recliner, so I don't always pull it over myself, but once in a while I do. And so quilt making is an art just as much as painting a rock or painting a greeting card. And it's just as much of an art. And I always thought that you would have, if you charge by the hour, my mother probably put 100 hours into a quilt. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't true. So I always thought it's going to be hard. So that's kind of why if you're painting a rock and you're trying to do this as a way to make money, you probably have to figure out a way to do it quickly. And I'm already probably taking too much time on this rock, but that's okay. Yeah. But it is fun. And, I do give them away. Well, this is only my 5th rock, so. But I give the cards away. If you've watched me for a while, you know that I do a lot of greeting cards and stuff. I'm trying to get some dark stuff up here, make it look like some clouds. There's little areas of I'll come back on this. Okay, I guess that's okay. So I like painting the rocks, but you know what I'm starting to miss? This is my 3rd rock in a row now. 3rd rock from the sun. My 3rd rock in a row. And rock in a row. Sounds like rock and roll. Anyway, I'm missing doing the cards, so I'll probably do a card tomorrow. But for now, this Florida sunset. If it's a sunset in Florida, it's gotta be on the Gulf of Mexico, right? It's gotta be where it is. We get another brush. Spread that white a little bit around. There we go. The crows are out there. They're looking for me. They're waiting for me to bring out the bird seed because I have started feeding the birds again. I stopped when Robin and I heard a squirrel in the attic. We decided we shouldn't feed the birds because they're attracting the squirrels, and the squirrels come in the house or in the attic anyway. I don't know how to get in there. Not sure. Boy, they're active. They're active out there. Can you hear them? Can you hear the crows? Let's take some of this white, bring it down here. Right now I gotta put a wave. I think the wave should be a little bit on the light blue side and not totally white. So let me get some white and some blue and put it together. There we go. There's my waves. Coming across here. Then we're going to take some of this Payne's gray and put it on the underside of this wave. There we go. Now let's get another brush. Get another brush. See, you thought I only used one brush. I use a lot of brushes over the acrylic. And that is a bad brush. Look at all that hair coming off there. Get that a little bit white. Whoops. Whoa, that's way too much. I should let it dry before I paint on top of it. Right over here, I'm going to purposely make a green shade because I want the light to be coming through it, like so you can see the green color of the water as it makes a wave close to the shore. There's our green wave. Get some of this white here for this edge of this water here, and then some of these little suds, little sea suds, you know, that fall off of a wave. You can make that light blue. Coming off of that wave. Add a little bit more white down over here. I'll come back over here and do something else with that. And then I want to put a thin line of dark, very dark, right on the edge of the water before it gets to the very soft light that's reflecting off of the sunset. Very thin line here. There we go. And then after that, look at all these paintbrushes I'm holding in one hand. Let me get rid of them. All right, down here, I want to put some light, very light, like the sun is reflecting right down there. Right there, very light. And then some yellow. And let's go ahead and get that orange in there. Let's kind of blend it together. And of course, you can't have a Florida sunset without a palm tree. Don't worry, I'm putting it in there. In case you were wondering. I get some red here. Make it a different shade of orange. There we go. Very bright. There we go. We can go ahead and add some blue over here. It's got to be lighter than that. Okay, now there's kind of like one layer there, and I want to add some more to it. So I have to think of how to do this. I feel like I want that green in that water, and this to be lighter. So I have to be very careful not to put too much on there. Very, very light green. I want it to look like the sunlight is coming through it. darker blue. Just a little dab here and there. Okay. Let's add that tree. There's our palm tree. Okay. Well, I think that took 43 minutes. And there's our Florida sunset rock. Put the light on it. I can't see it better. There. Anyway, there we go. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.